Bleachers shake, the air's alive. Under Friday skies we thrive. Small town roar, it cracks the night. Underneath these autumn lights, dreams are born and take their flight. Big plays, big hearts, Tennessee calls. Small town legends under the falls. The crisp headlights, but the passion's fire. High school glory, our one desire. Bleachers shake, the air's alive. Under Friday skies we thrive. Small town roar, it cracks the night. Underneath these autumn lights, dreams are born and take their flight. Big plays, big hearts, Tennessee calls. Small town legends under the falls. The crisp headlights, but the passion's fire. High school glory, our one desire. Bleachers shake, the air's alive. Under Friday skies we thrive. Small town roar, it cracks the night. Underneath these autumn lights, dreams are born and take their flight. Big plays, big hearts, Tennessee calls. Small town legends under the falls. The crisp headlights, but the passion's fire. High school glory, our one desire.
Good Sunday evening to everybody out there in the Tennessee high school sports world. We are back for another episode of Spot the Ball podcast. I'm joined tonight by Jay Henson, the play-by-play announcer over at Perry County High School, and another new guest tonight, Brandon Ivy from up in East Tennessee. Covers a lot of ground in East Tennessee, going to help us out a little bit here. Actually has a son that plays for Greenville. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. Good team to play for, right?
Oh yeah. Strong team.
So we're just gonna jump right into this. The playoffs, second round was Friday night. A lot of good games on the docket that night. Some didn't pan out to be as good as what they were advertised as, but let's get going. We'll take a look at Class A first on the eastern side of the bracket. Guys, what do you see here?
Brandon, this is your side of the bracket. You go first on that.
Yeah. So the Rockwood Sail Creek game really surprised me. I thought even though Sail Creek was only had one loss on the season, I didn't think that they were quite had the schedule that Rockwood had.
Mm-hmm.
So them advancing was quite a surprise to me. Cofield continues to do Cofield things. They're coming out of there hot and heavy. I expect them to move on. But South Pittsburgh, Clay County, if in 1A there was a game of the week this week, I think I would pick South Pittsburgh, Clay County.
That looks like a barn burner, and given what Clay County did on Friday night to Midway,
yes,
some of the numbers that were put up,
and going down 14 points, they were down 14-0 and just rattled it off like left and right. They had penalties that got touchdowns called back, or it could have been worse. So
it's impressive what Clay County is doing. But we know in years past they've gone down to South Pittsburgh and It's not been very competitive. Do you think this is the year they might be able to do something down there?
I think South Pittsburgh. It's the monster. Them and McKenzie in 1A right now, but I see Clay County and their ability to run and pass, and especially the run setting up the pass. I expect them to go down there and give South Pittsburgh everything they can handle.
I was actually thinking if this game was at Clay County, they would most likely be favored in this game, but it's not. It's at South Pittsburgh, so we know going down there is always a nightmare.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, it's one of those places that has some mystique to it. They got the pirate ship that fires the cannon, and all the things, and
Pyro.
pyro. Yeah, it's just one of those places you go into, and if you're a young kid and looking at the bright lights on Friday nights, it can have its effect.
yeah, the intimidation factor.
Correct.
And we'll get into it a little bit later, but Boyd Buchanan's got something similar to that. It's not quite as intriguing as South Pittsburgh, but they've done well down there too. Let's move on to the west side. I don't think there's any surprise here about McKenzie. The one that's shocking me a little bit is Fayetteville. I did not expect them to make it into the Elite Eight. So what's your thoughts on that, Jay?
I mean, Fayetteville, to me, I think they're kind of hit or miss, I guess you could say. They were very inconsistent on the year, but they've got a lot of athletes, a lot of speed. On the line, they do really well. Niles Barnett had 189 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, he's been their main guy this season. But, I mean, Dresden, though, I watched their game against McKenzie, which I know that's not really a game you want to watch and try to say, well, this team's either this good or that good. But they're not as big as they have been in the past. They're not like Dresser Wynn's teams back when he played, 7-8 years ago. So they're still a very good team. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they went 8-2, but that region 7 is very, I don't want to say watered down, but once you get past Dresden and as well as I'm trying to see on here, and some of those other teams, Greenfield, all them, there's really not a whole lot. South Fulton, Perry County played South Fulton, should have won, lost 17-6. You see South Fulton got absolutely rocked by Richland at Richland. So, I think Fayetteville is one of those teams you got to look out for because, I mean, going to Dresden, no matter how good or bad they are, you wore them out. Wayne County is very physical, and Fayetteville did perfectly fine with them. And I would not be shocked if Middle College from Memphis has got to go to Fayetteville, which that's a long drive.
Long drive, yep.
So I wouldn't mind seeing a Fayetteville-McKenzie semifinal there. I think Richland can hold their own against McKenzie. Now, do I think they're going to beat McKenzie? Probably not. I think McKenzie's got too many weapons, especially with Cole Brown, who was an absolute stud again. 9 for 14, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns, 5 carries for 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, you can't pick against McKenzie, but I think Richland will give them a game. I mean, Richland, they had 293 yards of rushing this past Friday night. So, I mean, if they can ground and pound and do and milk that clock, I mean, shoot, Perry County had almost 100 yards rushing on McKenzie, so you can't tell me that Richland couldn't do something like that either. So, I think overall McKenzie and Fayetteville will move on in that bottom half and then just see where the chips fly after that. But I think Fayetteville's very dangerous coming in 4-5, now 6-5. That's a very dangerous team right now.
Playing with house money.
Definitely. Yeah. They have nothing to lose at all.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose, playing with house money. There's another team in Class 4A we'll get to later that's very similar to that. But this 1A bracket is intriguing. I can't wait to see that Richland-McKenzie game. I think that's going to be good. Again, South Pittsburgh, Clay County, that's another one worth watching. Jumping up to 2A, though, in the eastern part, I know Bledsoe County is very good, but that surprised me a little bit. I thought Happy Valley might take care of that.
Happy Valley is one of those teams. They don't find very much success in the playoffs. Their region, and a lot of regions go this way. They're very top heavy, and once you get past 1 and 2 seeds, it's kind of
Watered down. Yeah.
So they did have a historic season this year, and credit to the coaching staff over there. They had a couple transfers come in from a 4A school, and so it surprised me that Bledsoe County treated them the way it came to on the field. They haven't been out physical like that all year long. So I think it was kind of a shell shock, being matching physical for physical. And then Eagleton,
down here on this bottom bracket, you got Marion County and Gordonsville.
Yeah,
that's going to be electric.
Yeah, Marion County, Gordonville is going to be a very good game. South Green's right here. It's a county school to Greenville. They were a very, very talented team. Came in second to Happy Valley, and then in a very close game in the region finale. But Marion County handled them like the defending state champions should, and Marion County still looks every bit the part they did last year.
So
yeah, them boys from Jasper are always good. I mean, they're just 9 miles from South Pittsburgh, so what they have, South Pittsburgh's got too. So it's kind of a two-edged sword when it comes to those two teams.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned Eagleton. I don't know much about them.
They're a newer top school. I think they've been in existence maybe 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a little longer. But they came in. I watched them play against South Green, and South Green had beat them. And they have a big physical defensive line, big physical offensive line. Not quite sure what to do with the skill position players, from what it seemed. I think they were trying to fill that out at the time, but they're something that's going to be reckoned with here in a few years, I think. So, but I think if Bledsoe County handled Happy Valley, which it was a 1 point game, but if they handled them at the line of scrimmage like they did, I don't think they'll have a problem with Eagleton.
And I think in Happy Valley, they were basically outscoring everybody 50-0 pretty much.
They were just going until it came down to South Green, and it was a 21-14 ball game for the region finale. But yeah, they had Keelan Relaford, who was a transfer from Volunteer, a 4A school out of Hawkins County, and he just went to Happy Valley and started running wild.
Mm-hmm.
So
you can see that.
And where is Eagleton? Is there a town Eagleton, or is it in like Maryville or something?
I think it's up that way towards the Knoxville area.
Oh, okay. I got you.
And then over on the west side, there was this Huntington-Lewis County game absolutely blew me away. Mm-hmm. I did not expect Lewis County to get handled like that. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, I think everything looks about like we expected it to.
I think some people were a little bit shocked with the Fairleigh East Nashville game. I couldn't find any stats on that, but I mean, East Nashville played just like Pearl Cone, they played a very tough early schedule, mm-hmm. and then they come out and go to Fairleigh, who hardly gave up any points. I mean, last year I think they had 6 or 7 shutouts, mm-hmm. and then this year they had about 4 or 5. Granted, I know Memphis doesn't have, like, in the smaller classes, they're not as extremely good as the top classes. But I really don't think a lot of people thought East Nashville would drive that far to Memphis and put away Fairleigh there. You look at East Robertson over Peabody. I kind of figured East Robertson would beat them, but I didn't think it would be by 3 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. I mean, Peabody is a legit power in West Tennessee and have been for going on 20 years now. So, I mean, seeing that was kind of shocking. Milan took care of business with Mount Pleasant, and then you had Lewis County and Huntington. It was 10-3 Lewis County, almost at the end of the first quarter. And then I literally switched it off, came back, and it was 35-10.
Yeah, it got out of hand quick.
It just got out of hand.
Well, see, I think Huntington's one of those teams that is in the 2A classification that can hit you that quick.
Yes.
Mhm.
They have some speed on that team. I'm telling you, they had 454 yards rushing the other night. Tyreek Hutch had 8 carries for 207 yards, and Braylon Dearman had 14 carries for 145. They have a two-headed monster in those two guys, and I watched them, and they were absolutely electric.
You're not going to lose many ball games with the tandem running for those numbers.
And their their O and D line are massive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking 6'3", 6'4", 300. I mean, they are big.
Seeing all the headlines in these parts were about Drew Ray and Lewis County having, they had a couple guys signed.
Yeah, Drew signed with Southeast Missouri, and another kid, I think Kentucky Wesleyan. So I mean, they're not just a pushover, but man, Huntington just threw them out the way the other night. I mean, I was really shocked by that, but again, Drew Ray still had a really good game. I think he had over 140, 150 yards rushing, and then about, I think, 70 or 80 yards receiving. But the turnovers and flags on them are the biggest problem against Huntington, and then they couldn't stop them on defense.
So who do you expect to come out of this? I'm thinking it's going to be Huntington and East Nashville.
I'm taking Huntington and Milan. Milan's a team that spent most of their time in 3A, jumped up to 4A, now all the way down to 2A. So
they can't stay anywhere. Yeah. They want to keep bumping them up and down.
Yeah, so I'm going to take Milan to do. Milan has a rich tradition down there. East Nashville has had its spurts and moments and everything, but playing in state title games. But I have a feeling about Milan in this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me, I think Milan. I mean, I'm not going to take East Nashville out, but it being at Milan and that beautiful stadium they have in downtown Milan, I don't see them. If they win, it won't be by more than a touchdown. If they win, but that Huntington East Robertson game, East Robertson's got some players, man. I'm telling you. I mean, I was looking at some of the stats, and Zach Groves was electric. He had 207 yards on 19 carries, and again, Peabody's not just a pushover. So, with that being at Huntington, I think I'm leaning more toward the Mustangs.
Mm-hmm.
If that game was in Cross Plains, I think I could go to East Robertson's. I think this will come down to a last-second game. I really do. I think that game, they both like to run. Now East Robertson passes a little bit more, but this game could be quick, but it could also be in the 40s. So I'm looking for like a 31-28, 32-28 game.
Yeah, you know that saying that styles matchups, the good matchups and everything.
Yeah.
I think East Robertson's more methodical than Huntington, but Huntington just has that quick strike ability that put fear in other teams, put fear in defensive coordinators for sure. So
yeah, they had 5 or 6. I think they had 5 or 6 50-plus touchdown yard runs the other night.
That quick strike ability, I think that's why I would lean Huntington as well as it being home. That this is something about teams that come out fast like that. Just it's hard to handle.
And then that semifinal game, Milan and Huntington, that's a rivalry for a long time, just a non-district or non-region, but now they're in the same region, and now they have a chance to who's going to go to Chattanooga. That'll be an electric game. Hopefully, we'll be talking about that next week.
And they're in walking distance of each other.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So, moving up to 3A on the eastern side of the bracket, I'm going to send out the flowers first.
Yep.
I'm going to give Forest a ton of credit for what they did up at Gatlinburg-Pittman. It looks like Pittman handled them pretty easily. That wasn't the case at all. It was with 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, that was a 21-14 ball game. It got away late. Forrest had nothing to hang their heads about. Quincy Mitchell went in there, still had 120 yards rushing. He did cross 3,000 yards total offense for the season. So credit to them for going up. That's a 5.5-hour drive. And they went up there and they played their hearts out. Credit to them, but Gatlinburg-Pittman, man, they are just loaded defensively. They average giving up 7 points a game. So that Forrest even put up 14 is a credit to what Forrest was doing. But that defense, it was just, you couldn't get any running room at all on them.
Yeah. So when it comes to Gatlinburg-Pittman, they've been stuck in the region with Alcoa for so many years. And for them to come out and go 10-0 in a regular season and absolutely just fly through their competition, to come out and to face a player like Mitchell and to limit a player like Mitchell to 120 yards rushing in a big game, it says a lot about that defense, and it says a lot about the playmakers that they have to put up 35, which I know it was closer than the score seems. But Forrest was no slouch on defense as well.
No, they weren't.
And then
all their losses, they had close games. So it wasn't like they were getting blown out in those 3 games. So I mean, the score, like you said, might indicate, that wasn't much of a game. But like Chris said, 21-14 in the second half. I mean, nothing on the road in a hostile environment like Gatlinburg. I mean, you can't
against a team that a lot of people expect to come out of the east side and be playing for a gold ball.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and then Meigs County and Sequatchie, hanging 30, winning by 30. Sorry, winning by 30 against Sequatchie, which is Sequatchie's not again. There's no bad teams when it comes to this part of the season. So Meigs County, with this matchup with Gatlinburg-Pittman and Meigs County, I would everything in me wants to pick Gatlinburg-Pittman, but I would lean on the experience of Meigs being in these big games, in these big moments, and they just have a lot more experience in those because Gatlinburg-Pittman's season ends at the hands of Alcoa for the past however many years.
Right.
So,
yeah, I'm with you. I think Meigs, when it comes push to shove, I really feel like, I mean, them and Gatlinburg. If this game was in Decatur, I think they win by probably 2 touchdowns. Them at Gatlinburg, it's going to be tough. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not trying to say I hate to say it because I don't know any of these people. But the people we had a couple of guys come on the air last week that said Meg's going to win it all. It would not shock me, especially with their duo that they have with Caden Brewster and Tough Ricker. I mean, that's just 268 yards. Tough had 5 touchdowns, 4 rushing and 1 passing. I mean, my goodness. I mean, in the lower classes, you have 2 dynamic players. You're going to be hard to handle. And I think Meigs, I mean, if you stop Brewster, now you got to go after Ricker. If you go after Ricker, you got Brewster. So, and Gatlinburg-Pittman, I know they've got a good defense, but man, it's going to be tough hanging on to Meigs County. I really like them against Gatlinburg. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't be shocked if Gatlinburg beat them, but I'm really looking to see how the Tigers do up there.
And then Giles County, credit to them. They started the year, I believe, 0-2 or 1-3, something of that nature.
I think it was 1-3.
Was not a good start to the year, but then they got into region play. They righted the ship. I would not be shocked at all if they go down to Chattanooga and pull an upset on Tyner. But again, Tyner is one of them teams that they've played against all comers this year and proven to be a tough out every single night.
Any team that can go up to Nashville Christian and face Jared Curtis and go toe to toe is a pretty good team in my book.
Yep,
every bit of it. I mean, Watertown gave them a fight earlier in the year or earlier in the playoffs, the first round, and then Unicoi was in that game, but it like third, fourth quarter, it was almost like Tyner just ran away with it. Giles County really looked good against McMinn Central. I mean, they had some really good plays. Pearson Collier was electric, 16 carries for 112 yards. Xavier Randolph passing 13 of 19 passing for 225 and a touchdown. I don't know if Bo Wallace is back, but I'm telling you,
it's a sensitive subject with me because he beat us in the 2009 state championship game.
Okay.
But anyway, if it is a reincarnation of him, which obviously it's not, he's still living. But anyway, another second coming of him, that would be fun. This is going to be a tough game, but Tyner, either one of these two teams can. This top bracket, and then me and Chris talked about it last week. It's so hard to pick against either one of them, all four of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you could see any four of them win.
Yep.
And something about Giles County. Believe it or not, they were the preseason #1 in Class 3A.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
So and then they started the season kind of struggling a little bit, and you're like, well, are they really that good?
And people start writing them off.
Yeah, we're fixing to see if they're really that good because this is 4 quality teams right here.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
And then in the bottom half of 3A, I don't think there's any shock that Westview is still rolling along.
Mm-hmm.
No,
they may have the 2 best players in all of Class 3A, in Asa Barnes and Graham Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got a duo like that, it's going to be tough to beat you guys.
With the pedigree that Graham Simpson has, of course, dad being UT Martin head coach, and brother balling out in the college ranks. He has a lot of hype around him, but he lives up to it.
Yes.
And he doesn't seem to feel pressure. And with Asa Barnes being the run pass option that he is, and it being a mismatch at any point in time, he could be the best athlete on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So during any game, but Melrose has athletes as well.
Yep.
Yes.
So I think that's going to be a very interesting game. Melrose, they just played for the state championship in recent memory. So, I think that's going to be a very interesting game, and I expect it to be a Covington Westview matchup in the semis.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you. Dyersburg had a hard time with Fairview, and Fairview's no slouch. Dyersburg had to drive 2.5 hours, 3 hours from Dyersburg, Dyer County. So, I really feel like Covington will take care of business there, and then Westview and Melrose. I feel like, depending on how Melrose's defense is, I know in the last few years they've been kind of like Fairleigh, and they were have had a good defense, but do they have athletes that are quick enough to stay with Asa and someone that can spy on Graham, because he's just like his brother. He's got such a quick release. You can be right on top of him and it won't matter. He's going to get it out. So I'm with Brandon. I think it'll be Covington Westview, and that game being at Covington, that would be that's going. I know Westview took care of them in the regular season, but Covington's biting at the bit to have their second chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's hard to beat a good team twice.
Oh, especially in football.
Oh yeah.
And going back to last year, Westview beat them twice. One of them was like 70 to 63 or something. It was ungodly the amount of points that were scored.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a basketball game.
Chomping at the bit to get another shot at these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So we've gone through 1A, 2A, and 3A. So now we're going to jump up in competition a little bit. Some of these bigger schools.
Yep, go to the big kids.
We'll go to 4A, up in the east.
Mm-hmm.
This is Brandon's forte.
Yes.
This is all his right here.
All right. So, of course, me being at the Greenville-White County game, White County, finishing third in the region behind Upperman and Stone Memorial. They were a tough team. They hadn't given up more than 42 in a game, and that was only one time to Upperman, which is, top 5 team in the state. So they came out in this game, their normal offense, extra linemen in the backfield trying to pound it right at Greenville, but Greenville stonewalled. So Greenville had the athletes they couldn't get outside. They couldn't run it up the middle. So they tried to, attempt passing. Didn't work out so well. Greenville's offense, they put Zay Anderson, the 4-star wide receiver that's committed to Tennessee. They doubled him up with a high safety over the top as well, but it left the running game just gashing holes and left the other 2-star receivers pretty open well throughout the night. But I will give all credit to White County. They were a tough, hard-nosed, did not quit fighting the entire time kind of team. Mm-hmm. The Anderson County Stone Memorial, I expected Anderson County to win, but I didn't expect them, to be 44-14. Anderson County is one of those teams that just beat Alcoa, feather in your cap. But that Stone Memorial, I expected Noah Potter to play a little bit better than, him being snubbed for the Mr. Football. I think this was a game of Mr. Football snubs with Noah Potter and Jason Thompson from Anderson County. So Jason Thompson did Jason Thompson things. Anderson County has a lot of transfers in from different schools. The big left tackle 3-star that was committed to Mississippi State and decommitted. They have the freshman quarterback, this coach's son, Davy Gillum's boy, JD. That just came back from collarbone injury. So I think they're still trying to get in sync to the best of their ability. And Red Bank over Gibbs, the score surprised me on this one. Mm-hmm. Gibbs was one of those teams. They beat Anderson County during the regular season. They stood toe-to-toe with every team that they lost to. And it wasn't in their cards for the night. And the Upperman Alcoa game, we were kind of keeping our eye on that as we were watching the Greenville game. It started Upperman's to come out fast. They came out strong. Quarterback from Upperman, who's a Georgia State commit, was doing his thing. He got hurt right there at the beginning that stalled a drive out, and then they lost 2 fumbles. So you cannot lose the turnover battle against Alcoa and expect to win. Right. So Alcoa back were against the wall. They came out swinging and pulled away at the end. They had a chance to make it 56-28 at the end, and they needed out at the 3-yard line. Respect. So I expect Alcoa to have the easiest walk, of course, into the semis. I don't think Red Bank can really stay with them. They may give a fight for a quarter, but I expect them to move on to the semis. And Greenville Anderson County, man, these two have been going back and forth for years. 2017, Anderson County had Greenville down 28-7 in the first quarter, and Greenville come back and beat them and broke their hearts. And then when it comes to them going back and forth, whoever comes out of there has made this. Whoever comes out of this top section has always made or won the state championship game in the recent memory, whether it be Greenville, whether it be Anderson County or Elizabeth, and dating back to 2017. Yeah. So I think this is the most loaded region in all of the state of Tennessee, if personally, when it comes to talent up and down the board. When it comes to Anderson County, Greenville, I think the experience that Greenville brings to the table in their lines of scrimmage and the toughness and everything, I think that's going to prevail. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout. I'm not saying it's going to be anything like that. But I think Anderson County is a boom or bust when it comes to this game. Mm-hmm. And they're either going to shock Greenville which I don't think would be a shock since they did beat Alcoa. But a lot of Greenville fans think it would be a shock. But I expect Greenville to come out on top and meet Alcoa in the semis.
That would be a fantastic matchup either way.
Either way. And I mean, me personally, I feel like if the Greenville had to drive to Andersonville, or Anderson County rather, I feel like that would be tough just because of how tough Anderson County is at home. I mean, obviously they beat Alcoa at home, so that tells you something. But with this being at Greenville in the Green Devil Stadium, I have to lean more toward Greenville, mainly because I like their offense. I mean, you look at Caden Bowl. I think that's how you say it. Ball. I'm sorry. I knew I'd messed something up. 13 of 17 passing, 237 yards and 2 touchdowns. Clarity had 4 catches for 95 yards, and then there was more in there. That was the only 2 I got to see that I saw in articles. So, if Greenville's defense can do what they did, like they've done in the first 2 games, I feel like if they can slow down Anderson County just a tad, like Volunteer did. I mean, that Volunteer, they're no slouch, and they were a 4 seed, and they only lost 37-21. If Greenville can come out, if Greenville can come out fighting, and they come out with a whole lot of steam, I don't see how Greenville can't win at home and go up against Alcoa for a chance to go to Chattanooga. So that. I'm really thinking about that might be the only high school game I watch on Friday night. I'm being completely honest with you.
So, and it's not like Anderson County has not given up points. They gave up 19 to Heritage, 28 to Carter, 20 to Union County, 27 to Doyle, 30 to Alcoa, 21 to Volunteer. So it's not like they've not given up points all year, Right. So, it's hard to keep a high-flying offense. And we mentioned Huntington being that quick strike offense. Greenville's that same way. But in turn, Anderson County's that same way with Jason Thompson and the weapons that they have as well. But I will say it'll be a quieter game, because Burley Stadium at Greenville does not allow air horns, the train horns that Anderson County likes to use, and they bring 20 to each game, so it'll be a little bit quieter than they're used to.
So at least you'll have that. So that's definitely benefit Greenville on that one. I mean, but like you said, Gillum really good, 21 of 25, 238 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jason Thompson, 11 carries, 119, 3 touchdowns. Lavelle had a really good game defensively and offensively, 10 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, like you said, nothing against them at all. I think they've got a really good offense. Yeah. Can they stop Greenville multiple times on the road in a hostile environment like Greenville and come away with a win? That's going to be hard. I think that's hard for any high school team in the playoffs, no matter who you are. But can Greenville get stops as well against Anderson County and continue their offensive surge? I can't say 100% sure who's going to win the game.
Yeah.
But I'm leaning with the Green Devils, in my opinion. Green with an E, by the way.
Green.
So you mentioned Caden Ball. Foreshadowing a little bit. Sometimes guys like that get overlooked when Player of the Week nominations go out because it's expected of him. His accuracy all season has been impeccable. Yes. He always throws for 200 plus, and I don't want anybody to take it as a matter of disrespect if he's not nominated for an award. But when you're that accurate, it's hard to say, okay, he's worthy of being nominated for this when you got other guys that you don't hear of doing some things that are eye-popping. So I don't want anybody to take offense if he's not nominated for an award, because Caden Baugh is absolutely electric. His completion percentage, it has to be leading the state. He is very accurate, and as long as he can keep that accuracy going, I have to think Greenville at home handles that.
Yeah, 100%. So it was crazy when we talked about that semifinal matchup, 2 quarterbacks that you have that had, for most of the season, had more touchdowns than incompletions in Manu and Ball. So
crazy.
and both running. Caden's if he didn't go over 1,000 yards for the season rushing, he's right at it, and passing for almost 3,000 yards. So
he's special.
Crazy.
Moving to the west side, I know what game I have my eye on.
mhm.
I'm going to see if you guys have the same thing.
Yeah.
I think anybody wants to watch that. I think everybody wants to watch that Marshall County Pearl Cone game. I don't think they're in the same. Yeah, they are in the same region. I apologize.
Well, they used
No,
to be
I'm
in the
sorry.
same region. They're not
Not
anymore.
anymore. Yeah, correct. So that's
I find the South Gibson Springfield game more intriguing to myself personally.
Okay.
with it being at Medina helps
Yes.
South Gibson in my opinion.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Springfield is loaded.
Yes, they looked really good against Lexington, and Lexington wasn't a slouch. They went to Haywood and took care of business.
Yeah,
So.
Woodson commanding that offense, one out there making plays left and right. He only that was his first interception of the year, and he took it 100 yards to the house.
It's crazy.
Jeez.
But yeah, Marshall.
I remember seeing that play Friday night. When he got that ball, there was no hesitation. It was straight up the field.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No dancing around, nothing. It just
he's gone.
Ball gone.
Yeah, me personally, Marshall County, Pearl Cone. Marshall County handled business against Dyer County. Pearl Cone against Crockett County, of course. Crockett County scored a little bit more than I thought they would in that game. But Pearl Cone, everybody, again, we were talking about earlier a team that started. Giles County. Everybody started writing them off. They were 1-4 or 0-4 or something like that.
0-4.
Yeah, but you have to look at the 4 teams that they played.
Yes.
Okay, that says enough right there. But Pearl Cone has come out swinging after that. They're battle tested. I would have to go Pearl Cone in this from the battle testing point of view and the athletes on the field. Once this year, I believe they're a formidable team, of course. But I would take Pearl Cone, and then I'm going to take Springfield against South Gibson.
Yeah, I'm leaning Pearl Cone. That 8 straight wins. Once they got it right, and they weren't playing some of those D2 schools that they were playing, it's been a different team. In fact, so much so, Springfield has 1 loss on the season, and it was to Pearl Cone.
Right.
So that tells you where Pearl Cone's at. I've watched Marshall County and Pearl Cone up close and personal for the last 4 or 5 years when they were in the same region. Marshall County just doesn't have the athletes that they do. So I'm going to Pearl Cone in that. I think Springfield goes on the road and handles business.
Yeah.
I think Springfield will go to Medina and do what y'all said. I think they'll take care of business. And then Pearl Cone and Marshall County, I mean, I know Marshall County is I have to give a little bit of favoritism with them just because they're like Perry County and Dobbins Bennett. We play on baseball fields. So that's a little unique because there's only 3 teams in the whole state that does it: Perry County, Marshall County, and Dobbins Bennett. Which Dobbins Bennett has a $2 million facility and all that good stuff. So that has nothing. It has a wall that moves. No, Marshall and Perry do it on the baseball field. I mean, you got like 2 great names. I'm just going to say it. 2 great names. Sophomore Todd Gardner, 27 carries, 261 yards, 4 TDs last week. And then you got Pearl Cone, LJ Funk. Okay, 13 of 16 passing for 287 yards. Those are 2. Just if you just want to watch it, just so you can hear their names, that is what you want to watch. Todd Gardner and LJ Funk. Unfortunately, I think it'll be funky down there in Lewisburg. I think Pearl Cone will get the win on that one.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to have a little bit of a little Pat McAfee moment there.
That's all time. That's all time name nominees right there.
Every bit of it. LJ Funk? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Tot.
And Tot. I mean, come on.
That
has to be a nickname. I'm going to have to look into that this week. With my contacts in Lewisburg.
If his real name's Tater,
I'm out.
I'm done.
If his real name is Tater Gardner and they called him Tot, oh my gosh, that would be
Right.
hilarious.
That would be hilarious. Looking at 5A,
Yeah. So
a little bit of an upset there with Lincoln County.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Did not expect that.
Especially at Powell, because Powell's been a very, of course, I know Brandon knows more about the east side than we do, but I mean, Powell's been a very winning percentage wise powerhouse over there in the east with Sevier County. It seems like they always play each other in the quarters or semis every year.
Yeah.
So I believe the Sevier County, I believe they got brought down to earth when it came to Grace Christian coming in and beating them, ending their 20-game win streak. So I believe they're refocused and ready to go. Walker Valley was a team that has been growing exponentially when it comes to being a program and everything, but they just weren't equipped to hang with Sevier County. Powell and Lincoln County came in, and that was a shock around East Tennessee for sure. Powell has always been a perennial powerhouse when it comes to the 5A, especially in the past 10 years or so. Lawrence County Halls is a good team. They're very solid. They got it done. Knox Central, I love their quarterback. He's one of those run pass options that he's just one of those, you want a dog on your team. That's a dog right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and honestly, looking at the rest of the bracket, how it's going to play out, I expect Central to beat Halls, and I expect Sevier County to handle Lincoln County, and I expect Sevier County to waltz into the state championship game.
Yeah, I'm right there.
I
I'm
think
right there
we're
with
all
you.
right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Lincoln County had just some momentum and not necessarily divine intervention. I'm not going to say anything like that, but they really played their heart out. I mean, they didn't quit. They kept going. They got down, like you said, a couple of scores, and was able to come all the way back. I read a couple of articles about them, and I think it's Deason Ogle. He did an excellent job for the Falcons in the run game, and he's a very good quarterback as well in running. But again, like you said, I just feel like Sevier County, they lost that game to Knoxville Grace or Knoxville Christian.
No, Knox Grace.
Grace Christian, Knoxville Grace, right? And I feel like you said, I think they took it to heart, and now they're like, we're not going to overlook anybody anymore. Which I'm not saying they overlook Knoxville Grace, but I feel like they know they should have beat them. And so I think they'll go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Sevier County is, and it's a team that's been tested. A lot of people didn't know about the Huntington, West Virginia team. They didn't know much about them, but they were stacked with D1 talent, and Sevier County handled them. They won in double overtime against Greenville. And so I think they're just the tested, the talent, I don't know if you guys know about the little mini docu series that they're doing on Newman, the quarterback from Sevier County. But yeah, I have to share that link with you guys. But they're doing a little thing about his career and his recruitment process.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, as dynamic as their offense is, I think they'll beat Lincoln, and then Knoxville's up for grabs. I like Central on that. So I mean, I think it'll be Central and Sevier County. And Sevier County will have that home game, and I think, like you said, they'll just want to waltz their way into Chattanooga, and then see who comes out of the West.
So, what's interesting is Lincoln County, Lawrence County, Columbia. They all play each other. Those schools have been rivals for decades, and to see them all, I don't think any of them have anything to hang their heads about.
No.
Halls was just a methodical team that was better. Nothing to hang your head about losing to them.
No.
And Columbia, that game with Knox Central was really, really good. I listened to a lot of it on the radio. And for Knox Central to come in here on the road and beat a team that put 70 up in the first round, I think that speaks highly of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm thinking it's going to be Central and Sevier County. I still think Sevier County is the best team in the East. And that brings us over to the West now, because I think the West is where your state champion comes from.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can say about Page. I mean, that defense is just so dirty, like in a good way. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. I mean, they're not giving up hardly anything this year, and their offense does just enough. They have some times where they're good. They're getting it up there. Like Isaac Ote, he had 16 carries, 142 yards, and a touchdown, and James Pierre had 13 carries for 83 over Kirkwood. And Kirkwood, I mean, I have to give a little bit of a rose to them. I mean, they're only a 2-year program, and here
Mm-hmm.
they are. They've gone to the playoffs the first 2 years. I think they went 5-5 last year, and then this year they went 8-2 and were in the top 10. So, I mean, that's an up and coming program. But Page is just, their defense is just so good, and we saw that last year in the playoffs and in the state championship, and having to
Mm-hmm.
go up against Beach now, who had a tough game against Munford, who Munford's not a slouch. That's a team from north of Memphis that's always pretty good, and they went toe to toe with them, and Beach won 33-30. I think Page is probably better than Beach in this, but it's going to be a tough game. You look down at the bottom half. Nolensville went to Paris, and they had a pretty tough game, but Henry County came out on top. Henry County is not like they were 10 years ago.
Right.
They kind of they not fallen off, but they're not 9-1, 10-0 like they usually are.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like their offense has gotten into a rhythm in these last 3 to 4 games. I've noticed, and them going up against Centennial, who, by the way, had to go on the road to Memphis Central, a good almost 3-hour ride,
Mm-hmm.
and went up toe with Central and beat them. And Central 2 losses were both on the road. So
Mm-hmm.
that I think Henry County will take care of Centennial. I think it'll be a good game. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I think they'll win that. But I think they're going to have to go to Franklin to Page, and I think it'll be Page and Sevier County in that state championship.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's about where I'm at too.
so yeah, Page Kirkwood. Page take care of his business against the Cobras. That's my favorite. Besides the Green Devil, that's my favorite mascot in the state right now. Anyway, Beach reminds me of, with that big quarterback of theirs. They remind me a lot of Upperman when it comes to just the power set, running the ball with their quarterback. And Henry County, again, not to reiterate, but not the same Henry County that we're expected of from years past. I think Henry County goes on to beat Centennial, and I think that Page and Beach game is going to be better than most people might think. I do think Page comes out on top, and I do think it'll be Page Sevier County as well in the state championship game.
Mm-hmm.
So I've actually got Page and Centennial in the semifinals, and Page moving on.
Okay.
Getting that battle of Williamson County.
Okay.
I can see that too, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen. I think sometimes we tend to go, and especially in high school football, with the name.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Moving on to 6A.
Yep.
We're on a collision course again. I'll see if you guys think the same way I think.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to be a repeat of the last 15 years with the same 2 schools in the semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially with how good Maryville has looked most of this season. They've been their defense is what's really gotten my attention. The last few years, it's been their offense. Of course, their offense is still really good, but their defense, I mean, Riverdale played with Oakland at Oakland back the last week of the year in the Battle of the Borough. So beating them by 29 points, I don't care who you are. That's really good, and that's a good indication of what could possibly happen if they can get by Blackman, which I think they can, because Blackman struggled with Dobbins Bennett, and I'm not saying Dobbins Bennett's a slouch, but I don't think they're not Maryville. So I really would like. I think Maryville will beat Blackman in that top half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Dobbins Bennett, who we're all too familiar with around here, is especially with their band. Shout out to the Dobbins Bennett band, but they faced a lot of adversity coming at the beginning of the year, and credit to them for making it as far as they did with all the adversity that they faced. Blackman came in and played bully ball,
Mm-hmm.
and got the job done by 3 scores. Maryville and Riverdale. Maryville that's the big question. Is this the year that they get the Oakland monkey off their back?
Yes.
That is going to be the tail. That is going to be the tail of this semifinal match, which I think is going to be the semifinal match. Of course, I think Oakland takes care of Green Hill pretty handily, and I'll pick Maryville to take care of Blackman handily. And then that's the thing. The Oakland monkey has been on Maryville's back since Oakland got back in the swing of things, and Creasy got there and turned that program into a power. In the state of Tennessee. I know it's 6A, but regardless of classification, even some of the top tier Division II, 3A schools, Oakland is going to put it on them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be interesting. I wish that they would move that game to Friday night just in case Greenville makes it to the semis, so I could watch both games. But yeah, that's how I see it shaking out.
I think it's going to come down to Maryville and Oakland too.
Mm-hmm.
Maryville's turn to host, but I don't think this is the same Oakland team as what we've seen over the last 10, 15 years. I think they're a step behind what they have been. That's not to say they're not a fantastic team. It just doesn't seem they're as loaded as what they have been.
Not as fluid in their offense and defensive tempo. It's not like a well-oiled machine. I might say that now, and then this week I get a text from Creasy saying, "Hey man, I ain't talked to you in 4 years, but here's the deal: my team just wore out Green Hill." That might happen, but
yeah,
I really feel like Oakland, if you want to look at it like you said, the last 10 years at least, this team is just, like you said, about 1 to 2 steps behind it. Not saying they still can't win the state, but it's not going to be as easy as it has been the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Right. So if there's ever a year for Maryville to get that monkey off their back, I think this is it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Going
and especially
over
being
here,
at Maryville.
That's an environment. That's one of those, every school has their own mystique, especially these big schools that, are used to winning everything. Every school has their mistake, but Maryville's one of those.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Going over here to the west side, I think there's a collision course here as well.
Yeah, I feel like
that Southwind team being undefeated and Ravenwood looking the way they've looked, that's a collision course. And I don't know who to pick if they both make it to the semifinals. I don't know who to pick in that game.
The only thing I can think of right now is if you're Ravenwood going to Memphis to play at Whitehaven, I don't care how good or bad Whitehaven is. That's an environment that's very intimidating in the fact that they play very well at home. Whitehaven does.
Yep.
Now Ravenwood, they wore out Houston, they wore out Cane Ridge. I expect it, but I think it's going to be a little bit closer than the experts think. So I still think Ravenwood gets it done. Now, this Collierville Southwind game is intriguing to me since it's at Collierville because, I know me and Chris have watched Antioch this year with their quarterback and with their offense.
Mm-hmm.
And Collierville, it was a back and forth game. Southwind, I can see them going into Collierville and getting that win.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like the Jaguars have a little bit of something on their back. They've been a 5A school for a while. They moved up to 6A either last year or the year before, and really have come all together this year. And I think they'll get it done at Collierville. trip to Franklin, or not Franklin, Brentwood, to take on Ravenwood to see who will play that Maryville Oakland game. I mean, whoever wins these 4 games, those 2 semifinal games in 6A are going to be that's going to be hard to pick.
Mm-hmm.
So,
go ahead.
Well, Whitehaven Ravenwood. I will take Ravenwood in that matchup. Whitehaven isn't the team that's, we've mentioned this a couple of times now of the past, 10 to 15 years as well. I just don't think they had the horses to keep up with Ravenwood. Collierville Southwind. I'll take Southwind, although I'm not too familiar with Collierville. But looking at Southwind's body of work this year, I would take them. But I hated to see Andre Adams and Antioch knocked out of the playoffs because he's one of the most exciting players in the entire state to watch.
100%.
I was hoping Antioch would get to the semifinals with Ravenwood. I was really looking forward to that, and broke my heart that it didn't happen.
Yeah, and Southwind's quarterback, Kelvin Perkins, he had 5 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 2 passing. He's also an Austin P commit. So.
Nice.
Yep.
And then, so that's all of our D1 classes. Going over here to Division 2, starting out in Class A. I think it's foregone conclusion we all probably agree on who the favorite is here.
Mm-hmm.
But don't sleep on this Providence Christian.
Mm-mm.
For them to upset Friendship Christian the way they did, I'm intrigued to see what they can do against USJ.
Yeah.
I didn't know they played at MTSU.
Yeah.
I had zero idea on that. I thought they had their own stadium at their place, but I guess not. So, I mean, that was really cool to watch when I saw the highlights of it. And seeing Friendship, they've just been such a powerhouse football team in 1A Division II for years, decades. And Providence just really just go to town on their defense, which Friendship's defense isn't a slouch. They're very good.
Mm-hmm.
But Providence's offense looked even more good. I mean, you look at their quarterback, Jackson Burden, he's a junior. He went 19 of 30 passing for 249 yards, 3 touchdowns. Senior Zayden Ronner, I hope I'm saying it right. He had 6 catches for 136 yards. And Friendship went for 2 in overtime and did not get it.
Jeez.
And that's how it ended up being 41-40.
But yeah, putting 41 on that defense for Friendship Christian, that's kind of eye-opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do think, personally, Providence Christian is going to upset USJ.
Mm-hmm.
It's, it may not be an upset to some people, but I would see it that way. And I think it is a foregone conclusion who's coming out of this bracket. The Truth, the big number 1 recruit out of Nashville Christian, I think he's just too much for anybody in this classification.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
And he's got weapons around him. I know.
Oh yeah, of course.
We always talk about Curtis, but their running back and wide receiver he throws to, I can't think of their names off the top of my head. T.J. Ward is the running back. He had 9 carries for 122 yards, and so I mean it's not like it's just Curtis. Now Curtis is the guy. Don't get me wrong. He is the best QB in this state. But people might say, well, let's just go after Curtis. No, you need to go after T.J. Ward. That guy can go. He can. He's like Huntington's running game. I mean, he can go off in a flash.
Mm-hmm.
So if the passing game ain't working good, the running game's working good for Nashville Christian. So they're all right. They're a balanced team.
And I think Curtis only threw the ball 8 times in this game.
Correct. He was 6 of 8 for only 78 yards.
Yeah. So.
But when you get up big like that, you ain't got to play him, right?
Yeah.
Just sit him on the bench, get him some pickle juice and stuff to get ready for next week.
Georgia or whoever he signs with may be hoping like, hey, just throw him in there, blow him out, and get him on the bench.
Yes. Yes. And I like how you said that. Georgia or whoever he signs with.
Yeah.
Or whoever.
Hey, today's high school recruiting, you never know.
I mean, there's certainly some chatter surrounding Jared Curtis, so let's just leave it at that. Move on to 2A. Again, I think it's a foregone conclusion. We all three probably agree on who's going to come out of here.
It's not going to be a guy named Gary Rankin, right?
Probably so. But this team in Memphis over here, well, yeah,
Los
this team
Ann.
over here in Memphis, that's a team to watch in Los Ann.
Mm-hmm.
They have some athletes over there. I don't know all their names like Jay does. I'm not the consummate professional like he is.
No.
But Los Ann is loaded with talent,
Mm-hmm.
and I would think they're probably going to come out of the upper half.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Boyd Buchanan is a foregone conclusion that they're going to come out of the bottom half. And I got the Big Blue down there north of Chattanooga coming away with that.
Yes. So if I'm looking at this, you're right. Los Angeles does have, tons of talent on that team. I don't like to say this very often, but I think your state championship game is played at the lower half of this bracket. The winner of I expect it to be Boyd Buchanan, but BGA is so talented as well. The freshman receiver, his name slips my mind right now, is
Maddox Porter.
Maddox Porter is an absolute monster of a player just as a freshman. So he's dangerous. So can't sleep on him, but I'm picking Boyd Buchanan to come out on top of it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can't. I mean, Max Bates was 8 for 8 passing for 113 yards for Boyd. So I mean, there you go. I mean, I just noticed it just now, but Los Ann will have to travel to FRA. I'm not saying Los Ann's a lot necessarily, but FRA has been pretty good lately. Their running back Mike Hassel's been pretty well. 21 carries, 135 yards last week. Their wide receiver Amari Sanders, get this, fellas, 8 catches, 241 yards.
That's smoke.
That's
4
incredible
touchdowns.
Numbers.
And Jack Nimitz, the quarterback, 20 of 34, looking like Ty Simpson, for 378 yards, 4 TDs.
Crazy numbers.
So I mean, I know Los Angeles got the talent. Let's see how they do on the road in Nashville. That's going to be a good game.
Yep.
Right.
But I'm with y'all. Los Angeles, Boyd Buchanan, Boyd getting the win.
So, and then the one that everybody wants to talk about. D2 3A.
Battle of Chattanooga.
The Battle of Chattanooga for part 2 this year. What I'm looking forward to is all the hype videos coming out from Baylor and McCallie this week. Because they do it every time they play.
Yep.
I'm ready to see them.
Yep.
Don't make me wait.
Have them out by Wednesday.
Yes. I anticipate Baylor getting the win here. And then playing in the state title game, and a game that is far overdue, that got rained out during the regular season, Brentwood Academy. Let the best man win. I think Baylor is the best team in the entire state.
So when I'm looking at it, I got Baylor coming out on top against McCallie. Man, shout out to Engel Martin for his coaching job that he's done at CPA. He's definitely. I don't care with the classification. I think Engel Martin's one of the top 3 coaches in the state. Mm-hmm. I have them against Brentwood Academy in the state champ. I have Baylor and Brentwood Academy in the state championship game, but I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to take Brentwood Academy.
Okay.
Just a hunch.
I'm right there with you. I mean, CPA went to Innsworth, not a good place to play, or not an easy place to play, and beat a very good Innsworth team who beat McCallie. And I'm not saying they're going to get completely blown out by BA. I think BA will win, but it's going to be closer than the experts think. but I'm with y'all too. I think Baylor will beat McCallie and head to Finley Stadium, and it'd be a Brentwood Academy Baylor game that should have been played back in week 3 or 4. So I think that
And
will be an
it got rained
absolute
out,
win.
and nobody wanted to reschedule it.
They knew
Why not?
they knew they were going to meet.
Why not
Yeah.
just do it when you go to the state championship?
Yeah.
Yep. So let me ask you all this. Is David Gabriel Georges the best player in the state, bar none?
It's a hard argument.
There's a huge argument there, but yeah, I would go yes. I go yes.
The way he
Percentage-wise,
handles
yes.
the way he handles himself, and that he's a junior and has another year to do it, he's incredible at the running back position. Yeah, I talk about Quincy Mitchell and his over 2,900 yards rushing this year, but he didn't play against the guys that DGG plays against. So I have to say that I think Georges is the number 1 player in the state. But we have some other players that deserve some recognition, don't you think?
No, I think so.
Every bit of it.
So, as you know, we give out an award on the show called the Titan Award. That goes out for who we think is the best player of the week. A lot of times I just go through on Facebook. There's a site on Facebook called Tennessee High School Football. And they have a post every week for people to punch in stat numbers, right? And
Correct.
that's where I get a lot of these numbers from. So the nominees this week for the Titan Award: Todd Gardner at Marshall County, 19 carries, 231 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Impressive night for him to get them into the Elite 8. Our next nominee is Reese Adams from Clay County, 25 carries, 201 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's pretty nice when you can average 8 yards a carry on the ground. Again, and don't get me wrong, just because somebody's not on here doesn't mean they didn't catch our eye. But here's the kicker for this Clay County team. Now you got Nolan Adams, their quarterback, who only had 285 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, 171 yards passing, 1 passing touchdown, and 2 interceptions on defense. I mean, what do you do with a team with that kind of talent on it, right?
The Adams family, man, I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. And then our last nominee, we had Jaden Pete from Milan, 15 carries, 240 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Those were the nominees. But our winner this week for the Titan Award on Spot the Ball podcast, I'm going to let you do the homework on this one, Brandon.
Yeah, Caden Brewster, 18 rushes, 274, 2 touchdowns, 308 all-purpose yards, 7 tackles, 2 pass breakups, a forced fumble, and a TFL. So that's a night.
It's definitely a night.
That's a night on defense, much less what he put up on offense.
Exactly.
Right. And doing it at that level in 3A to play both ways. There's not a lot of kids in 3A that play both ways. And if you're doing it, you're a special talent. But congratulations on Caden for winning that award this week. We'll get that out to whoever needs to see it so it can get posted by the right people.
Definitely.
Congratulations, young man.
Yeah, congratulations, Caden.
So, do y'all have anything else?
Go Devils.
Right.
And we just got a lot of good semifinal games and the Division II, and quarterfinals look pretty cut and dry. Not necessarily. There's about 5 or 6 of those games that I want to definitely keep my eye on. So should be a lot of fun this week. And can't go out and say it, but got to anchor down on Saturday. I'll be at that game against Kentucky.
Yes, sir. I don't know if I'm going to be there against Kentucky, but if I'm not there, I will be paying attention somewhere
Right.
um, because I'm ready to spot the ball.
Nice.
And without further ado, we're going to call it a night. We'll see you back here, same time, 6:30 next Sunday night, where we go over the quarterfinals and preview the semifinals and look ahead to the finals in D2. And with all that said, y'all have a great night.
Yep. Y'all too. Good night, everybody.